am here with former Senator Bob Graham, who is still serving his country in not one but two separate capacities. Serves on the Financial Crisis Inquiry Commission. Today heard about credit rating agencies, and the president has also tapped you to investigate the BP spill, your role in terms of that commission as well. Thank you, first of all, for the time. I know
Thank you very much.
Your first interview since getting this job. Let me ask you about the BP situation, first of all. Tell us what you see your mandate is right now with Bill Riley in investigating this. Is it your job to find out the causes of this, or to make the larger question about whether America should continue drilling in places like the Gulf?
The president's given us two assignments. One is to answer the question of what happened, and then second, to make recommendations about future U.S. policy in terms of offshore oil drilling, particularly in deep water. That's both some technical recommendations, such as why did the blowout preventers fail in this circumstance, but also there's some assumptions as to our national policy in drilling offshore. Are those assumptions correct? In this case, we found that the safety assumptions and the response capability assumptions were wrong, and there may be some additional assumptions that we ought to be looking at in making a reasoned judgment about U.S. policy drilling in such difficult and, as we just learned, potentially dangerous circumstances.
You've just been on this job a few hours at this point, a few days. Have you had a chance to talk to anyone from BP yet? Have they approached you? Are you satisfied you're going to get cooperation from the company? Well,
the answer is no. I've not talked to anyone from BP. Withhold judgment as to what kind of relationship we're going to have. I hope it's a good one. We are going to be first getting the other 5 members of the commission appointed. The president will do that, select an executive director, put together a staff and a work plan, and get at our business, because we have got to have a report by the end of this year.
All right. You, as I mentioned before, not only a senator, a governor from the state of Florida. This is a state with a tremendous tourism business. This kind of scare has been out there for a long time. This fear that a disaster in the Gulf could occur. Now we're actually facing that right now. There's someone raising the question, we shouldn't be doing drilling. Is that, as you head into this, do you have concerns about the fact that we're even in the Gulf to begin with?
I've been dealing with this issue for 40 years as a state legislator, as governor, as U.S. senator. I've spoken about it, written about it. I'm not without some background. On the other hand, I see this role to which the president has just assigned me as being somewhat like a juror. We're supposed to approach it with an open mind, collect the information on this particular situation, and then use that as a key part of making some judgments about what we should be doing in the future. So I'm reticent to be making a judgment as at the very beginning. We'll have plenty of judgments when we get to the end of this process.
But one of the questions will be, is it safe to go into the ultra-deep water?
I think one of the questions is going to be, are all the assumptions which have led us into our current situation, there are thousands of these rigs off the United States, are those assumptions correct, and are they sufficient to protect the public interest that is at risk in deep water drilling?
Let me switch gears, if I could, to the focus of today, the Financial Crisis Inquiry Commission, credit rating agencies. What did you make of the testimony today, not only from the former Moody's executives, but also Warren Buffett, essentially saying, listen, we made some mistakes here, but this had to do with a national housing price decline that everybody missed?
Not everybody missed it. There were some people who saw it and benefited by the fact that they saw it. I think one of the real questions in both the oil spill and the financial crisis is, why were the warning signals, the yellow and red lights that were flashing out there, why weren't they seen and acted upon before we ended up in this disaster? Two disasters.
Warren Buffett, he's the major shareholder, largest shareholder in Moody's. Were you satisfied with Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, explaining his own interest in the company, the fact that he's not involved in the day-to-day details?
Yeah.
Does he bear any responsibility?
We all bear some responsibility, and he bears some responsibility as the not the majority, but the plurality owner of Moody's. But his normal practice is to be an interested but a rather at distance owner. He does not try to micromanage the many firms that his firm, Berkshire Hathaway, owns.
All right. Senator Bob Graham, we thank you for the time. Appreciate it very much.